Once again, welcome back to the program. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਰਾਬਰਟ ਮਰਸਿਕ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਪੇਸ਼ੇ ਵਜੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਸ਼ਨ ਫੀਲਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ, ਬਟ ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਵੀ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਚੈਲੰਜ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ, ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਆਰ ਵੀ ਰੈਡੀ ਟੂ ਟੇਕ ਦੈਟ ਫੈਕਟਰ ਇਨ ਟੂ ਕੰਸੀਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੈਟ ਹੂ ਇਜ਼ ਰਿਸਪॉन्सिबल ਫॉर दैट। Let's focus today and talk about the importance of accountability in one's life. Let's welcome Robert Mersick. Robert, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Today I would like to focus and talk to you about, the importance of accountability in our life. When things are going good, we always take credit. But when something goes wrong, we always want to blame and complain about, it is because of him or the situation that something has arisen. From what angle do you see, why should we make ourselves accountable? And if we make ourselves accountable, what changes can it bring?
Well, I think accountability is a key part of life. And I think that when you're able to take accountability for your own actions,
Right.
and not blame people, places, or things on why you're in the situation you are, it keeps you humble.
Right.
Because so many times when an issue arises, people want to blame the situation.
Right.
People want to blame other people for why they're in the situation they're in.
Right.
I know from my own example, when I was younger, it was always easier when the challenges happened to blame somebody else.
Right.
Because that deflects the blame from you and no accountability. But eventually that catches up to you as well. So what I've learned in my life is that now that I've changed my accountability to any situation, and the only thing you can change is what you're accountable for.
Right.
It changes the situation. So for me, it's very important. Accountability is very, very important to success in life. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Once you change your level of accountability, your life changes.
Okay. You say once you change your level of accountability, life changes. Well, how, from your experience, if you can tell us, how this has helped you. Earlier, what was it that you always complained and blamed the situation, but now that you are responsible for your own actions, how has it changed you?
Well, I'll take a case in point. Back in 2008, HSBC Bank, for example,
Right.
I had a significant line of credit. And when that all changed, when the banks came in 2008 and just stopped everything, and I would blame the bank why they took away the funding at that time.
Right.
But what I realized today is that I was part of that problem because I went to a point where I leveraged myself too far.
Right.
I didn't think about that. I just said, look what the big bad bank did to me, which
Right.
caused me to be in this situation. No. Today, I would look at where's my accountability in that situation. And today, I would never extend myself like I did before
Right.
because I have nothing to prove. And when you look at life and you have something to prove to others, it's when you always set yourself up for a time in your life that changes a lot of different things, like it
Okay.
did for me.
Well, that's another important point what you have touched. Generally we live for others. We try to impress and show others. But when it comes to ourselves, we are more of the time, bothered about what people are going to say about us, and we have to prove to themselves that we are the ones. So again, why is it important that you should not live with that attitude, and why you should change that perspective and focus only on yourself?
Well, that's very, very important. Once you give your power to other people, you have no power left.
Right.
Once you take that power back. Now, when you become even more powerful is when you have faith in your life as well.
Right.
I know that when your faith is more significant, my power to make decisions is more significant.
Right.
So it's not about me anymore. It's about whether you have God, a higher power, Buddha, whatever religion you have. Today, I'm very powerful because I let it go. So I make a decision, like I always said before, you make a decision with your mind.
Right.
You process the information. Then the answer comes through your heart. And you feel that that's the right answer for you and the situation you're in. So it's very, very important.
Right. So again, what you have said is, because we never prepare questions, and it is always from the heart what we try to talk.
Yeah.
So what you have touched again is a very important point, because we always think from the mind, and as far as the heart is concerned, it says something, but many times we just suppress it. We don't want to listen to the heart.
We don't want to listen.
Now here comes the point: the mind and the heart. There's a battle going on. So again, it's not that the mind is bad or the heart is good, but when you have to take a decision, what would be your recommendation? Like, what needs to be taken more into consideration? Because ultimately, if we are just using the mind, then we'll know how. If we are not using the heart, then we'll have no compassion. Our life will be just like a robot. Whereas if we use just the heart, then it will be the other way around. So why is it important to have balance between the mind and the heart?
Well, I think that we are always stuck with what we feel inside about our decision.
Right.
And the brain's a thinker, it's a processor of information. But the heart's a feeler. And you ever notice in life when people feel restless, irritable, and discontent is because they feel they haven't made the right decision.
Right.
Right? And for me personally, once I've connected my mind and my heart, I always make the right decision for me. You'll find many times that if you listen to other people and make a decision upon what other people ask of you, usually that's not a good decision for you.
Right.
And then you're stuck with the residuals of accountability.
Right.
And so today for me, I don't do anything that's self-defeating behaviors. I'm present constantly. So I think. So I'm thinking. I'm always thinking. I'm thinking of situations. I'm thinking of how I'm going to deal with situations. But the decision comes from my heart.
Right.
And when you can connect the two, you're very powerful. But if your heart and your mind are disconnected, you're always battling with yourself.
Right.
And no answer you have at that point will be a good answer for you.
Great. Thanks for your perspective on these particular points. Thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom with our viewers today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੋਬਰਟ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਰਕਮਸਟੈਂਸਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਲੇਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ। ਪਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਣ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਲਓ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸੋਚੋ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਰਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ। ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਤੋਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋ। ਮਾਈਂਡ ਅਤੇ ਹਾਰਟ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਜੰਗ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਸਮਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ, ਦੂਸਰੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਂ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੁਣੋ ਸਭ ਦੀ, ਕਰੋ ਆਪਣੀ। ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਾਰਟ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸੁਣੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਹਾਰਟ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਸਗਾਈਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੇਗਾ।